What is up, FTF fam? Excited to be here. My name is Jake Weisler. I am kind of taking over for a few weeks while Parker's in Thailand and traveling and just super busy with some big projects. He's asked me to kind of do this, and that includes doing some Feedback Fridays. So here I am. Today's video is brought to us by Damian Gray, the man himself. He brings us a wedding video that he shot, I think, about 3 months ago. And it's a great video. I've already watched it. It's a happy ending. And he shot this with a Canon T5i and a Canon T3i with a 50mm 1.4, an 18 to 135mm 3.5, and a 75 to 300mm f4. So without further ado, let's dive right in. Just from the get-go, Damian, killing it. Music is key, sets the tone, sets the pace of the video. Great choice of music. The opening shots are also very captivating. You're showing the details, the location, drawing us in. Notice how the establishing shot of the venue is us pushing into it, like we're arriving at the wedding. We're walking into it, so it draws our attention in. Great job. Man, I'm a sucker for wedding films. Freaking love these things.
Caleb, we have been talking about this day since I was 15 years old, and it's finally here. I am so excited for the adventures to come. I promise to always put Jesus first above all things, to pray for you and to love you unconditionally, forever and ever, even if there's a fire.
Love that shot. One of my favorites. Great job with the vows. The music transitioning from just itself to behind the vows was a little dramatic, a little steep. Maybe more of an even transition from the music playing to the music dimming down so we can hear the vows. But I love the B-roll you threw over it. And this is a great shot too. I love how it comes right into focus. Nailed it.
Bama is red, the Bears are blue. Today is the day I get to marry you. We've waited forever, and it's finally here. We get to join as one, never again to fear. We've been together since 15. This really feels like a dream. But today, Marbella, is the day we become a team. I love you so much. This much is true. My love, this is the day I get to marry you.
Those were awesome details of the groom. Love it. Tells a story. Bride's talking to the bride, groom's talking to the groom. Great. I think the speed ramp was a little too quick for the pace of the video, and I would have just cut it, honestly, and just showed the groom's face.
You.
I think your framing was a little off on this shot. There's a point when you intentionally shoot high to show off what's above them, but usually never just the head. If you were to do that a little bit wider and a little bit more zoomed out, maybe from waist up and with a lot of headroom to show off the brick wall, that would have looked very aesthetic and artistic and stuff, but I think just the head, we're kind of like, what's going on? For first looks, when the bride gets to be seen in the dress for the first time by the groom or by the parents, it's important to get her walking up, but I love to switch to behind the bride to capture the reaction of the person who's watching. It's usually a very tender moment when they can see this white dress on their daughter or their wife for the very first time. It's a very emotional reaction. So maybe get the shot you need of her walking up, but then pause everyone and say, hey, 1 second, run to the backside and be like, hey, do your thing. They'll turn around, you'll grab the shot, tears will flow, it'll be beautiful.
Christian marriage is not...
Let me just take a moment real quick to say how vital it is to capture moments like that right there. Pure, raw emotion. It's hard to come by that kind of emotion when the camera's so close. So whenever you see those happening, flip out your camera and just shoot it. Capture it. Those are priceless memories that these two ladies will get to look at in this video for the rest of their lives and remember how they felt. Your job as a wedding videographer is to make their day seem 100 times better than it actually was, even if it was an amazing day. You're there to make it look dreamy and beautiful and emotional, and capturing raw emotion like this that's not posed or directed makes it that much better. In fact, I had this one wedding one time. I won't get into it now, but because I captured a few raw moments, it made the video turn out 1,000 times better than the wedding actually was. It was horrible.
Christian marriage is not living...
Audio steeped a little bit too much there as well. Transition it slowly into the dialogue with the music not so drastically low.
merely for each other. It is a man and a woman uniting to serve God. If you seek His kingdom first and His righteousness, He will add all other things to you. By the authority committed unto me as a minister of the gospel of Jesus Christ, I declare that Caleb and Marley are now husband and wife, according to the ordinance of God, in the name of the Father, and the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Caleb, you may kiss your bride.
Man, loving this. I'm going to get into the storytelling in a minute, but love the transitions, and I think, again, the speed ramps are a little bit too quick to be transitions. They're a little bit too disorienting. Like, I love the feel of the dance party, but it's just those were a little bit too jolty, too quick for me. Also something, just, and I don't want to be shallow when I say this. It's unfortunate. We don't know how these people relate to the bride and groom. They do. It's important to show, obviously, the mom and the dad and so forth and the siblings. But when it comes to guests at a wedding reception, Parker's advice to me was always shoot the most attractive people. And the more attractive the guests are, the better your footage will look. Cute shot of the little girl, but you're also kind of showing off them dancing and the little girl. Just pick one. Do a close-up of the little girl dancing, looking at the camera, all cute. Because you chose to do both, you had to widen your aperture, which showed this whole thing. You had your monopod, your tripod, your camera. Parker talks about filling the frame in composition in one of the first sections, but also not filling the frame. You have a whole lot of dead space where the camera is, the empty table with 3 empty chairs, the guests of people, the cars in the background, the trees, and then you're trying to show off this little girl, but she fills up maybe 10% of the frame. So just storytelling in general. Pick your subject, focus on it, showcase it, glide around her, and then show quickly the bride and the groom looking down at her laughing. And that way your audience knows you're showing this girl dancing and the bride and the groom watching the girl dance without showing all the crap behind them. Great shot. Audio peaked a little bit. Not much you can do there. Maybe just lower it, or don't even use audio. Find some sound effect on YouTube of a crowd cheering and replace it so it's just not as peaky. Is peaky a word? Love the closing shot. Love the title. Love the colors. Just love it. Holy cow. Damien, my man. Loved it. Especially that you shot this with the T5i and the T3i. I think you made it very cinematic, very attractive. Couple big highlights for me. One, your storytelling. You did a great job at going from beginning to end of the day and also showcasing their love as the main subject. There's the bride, there's the groom, and a lot of the times as wedding videographers we just kind of focus on them, usually more the bride, right? But I think what I'm starting to learn is it's more important to showcase, if you can, their love together, which means including emotion, including vows, including them looking at each other in the eyes deeply, passionately, you know, showing that they're in love and they're celebrating it together, as opposed to here's a cool bride, here's a cool groom, magic. You know what I mean? I think your colors were fantastic. I liked the way you colored your video, especially the indoor shots. It looked very dreamy. The slow motion was very great. I think you're off to a great start when it comes to wedding videos, man. Seriously, this is better than my first one. My first few, honestly. Little bits of feedback. Just even out your audio just a little bit when the music dies down, the dialogue comes in. Just make it a little bit more smooth, so that it's more of a natural transition to us listening. When it's so sudden and jolty, as a viewer, we kind of get distracted by it, and we kind of like subconsciously get to wonder what just happened, and distracts from the view, right? And then my other thing is just, I think the speed ramps were a little bit too much. You had this really dreamy, beautiful, fun vibe, and those really fast speed ramps kind of like discombobulated me a little bit. But Damien, great job, man. Loved it. Pumped to see more. That's all for today, guys. If you have any further questions for me or for Damien, please let us know. Doing the punch.